TSPN.tv.com. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TSPN's News in Depth today. And today I have with me Michelle Clark, and she's the Operation Manager. How are you doing, Michelle?
Great, thank
and
you.
with that's the Operations Manager with American Legion Ambulance Service, and that's right up there in Martell. And Virginia Manor. How you doing, Virginia?
Hi, Tom.
Okay, and Virginia is with Amador Lifeline, as well as a good friend, and her husband, Dennis. And so we're here to talk about both of your outfits, really. And Lifeline is a program with ATCA, correct?
Yes, the Amador Tuolumne Community Action Agency.
Okay, and how long has Lifeline been a part of ATCA, and how long has that program been going on? I think a lot of people know about it. We'll find out, and then we'll find out what the program is. So,
A little over 34 years.
wow,
As a local program with a local office with volunteers, staffed, as well as paid staff.
Okay, so in that 34 years, you must have seen some technology changes.
And we're seeing it now, too.
Okay, and Virginia, it's been going on for 34 years, but how long have you been, I guess, the director? Are you the...
I'm the supervisor.
Supervisor?
Tanya Kraft is the coordinator. She makes everything work.
Okay.
I have actually been with it probably about 10, 12 years.
Okay.
Been with the agency 20, a little over 20.
Okay, and people I'm sure have seen Virginia talking about this wonderful product many times now on our show.
Yes.
But there's some new things that we want to talk about, and part of that is, I guess, you're partnering with American Legion Post 108's ambulance service, and they're supporting you as a partner. Tell us how, what way?
Well, actually what it is American Legion has given us an endorsement of support as a local program, as a community partner, because we are all in the same business, so to speak, providing emergency response. And so with Amador Lifeline, if someone pushes their button for help, they may say, I've just fallen, but I don't need an ambulance. That saves the ambulance so much time in sending a crew out. They would then send the fire department out, emergency services, to help that person get up.
You know, we got here from what something you just said, and I want to kind of clarify that a little bit. Like,
Okay.
So if they fall, they might tell you that. Is there a microphone on this, or do they have to make
Yes,
a call as
there's,
well?
right. The Lifeline representative will come on and say, Mary Jane, you have fallen, and she says, yes, but I just need help getting up. And it does happen. People fall out of bed, they may trip, or slide in a chair, slip on a magazine, and they really don't need emergency services from the ambulance company, which is already so very busy. And they will call then for the fire department to come out and help them get up. They'll also call a family member or a response person who will come over and either be with them or assist them. Very often a family member will come over and help them get up and just say, cancel any call to the fire department.
Okay, that's probably nice. I imagine the fire department, I know they love to roll on things, not just love it, but they, that's their job, and they're out there for every emergency, and it feels like they're chomping at the bit. You know what I'm saying? Because they roll and everything out there so fast. But that's pretty costly to bring them in. Some of the crews might have to come off from work. I'm really not sure if everything is manned. So do the people that have this maybe have a phone number with you or something that for the friend that they would call? Do you take care of that?
We have all that
say,
information entered
Tom,
as
you
a
fell
client.
down, you call them. You don't do that, do you?
No, the
Okay.
Lifeline representative stays on the line with them until a responder or a medical emergency crew arrives. Now, we have had cases where someone said, I'm fine, I need help getting up, just call my neighbor. Neighbor came over, said, oh no, she needs an ambulance, she's bleeding from her ear, where someone's in shock. And so then the call is rerouted. That takes a little extra time. Meanwhile, we have someone there with the client reporting what is happening moment by moment.
Okay. Because I know a lot of guys, I don't know, girls probably do it too. Maybe, you're old, you fall, you're a little proud. You say, oh, no, I'm fine, as you're walking around with a broken leg or something like that, right?
Right.
And so you almost need somebody to say, hey, come on, this is the time to use that, right?
Exactly. And with us having a volunteer fire department, these men and women are leaving their jobs and going to the rig and going out. So to be able to send the right emergency not equipment,
Okay.
but response out saves everybody money and time and
Okay.
gives the client a greater level of
Let's stay
service.
with you. We'll come back to that in a minute. So, okay, so they get a call, and where does the Lifeline call come through? Do you know where the Lifeline call ends up, Virginia?
It's actually generated from the communicator.
Okay.
And they can also answer their phone with it. So they either press their button, or this particular button here is an automated fall device. It actually detects the fall with a vertical drop, so they don't even have to press the button for help.
Okay.
It's just amazing.
So,
And at that point, someone comes on the line and says,
all
"Are
right.
you okay,
Okay,
Tom?"
I guess that's what I'm saying. Someone comes on the line.
Yes.
What does this thing call? What number does it call? Does it call the Sheriff's Department?
What it does is it calls the response center, and the response
Okay.
center then evaluates the call that will be made. Will it be made to the Sheriff's Department, will it be made to the ambulance company, or will it be made for fire medical?
Okay, so they're savvy enough right there. It doesn't go like to the Sheriff's Department where the sheriff tries to figure out how to do it.
Not immediately.
Okay.
No.
So let's say they get the call, then what happens when you get a call that says you need to roll on something?
So if they determine that it is truly a medical emergency and they need ambulance services, they will in turn let the Amador County Sheriff's Department know in the dispatch center, and they will in turn dispatch us. And when they do dispatch us, they let us know that the call came in via Lifeline, and whether there was a response from the person at the residence or no response. And so the dispatch center will give us that information, and we go to see what we can do to help.
Okay, well that's really good. So it's very well coordinated there. And of course you're always in communication with the responders. So if they get out there and they're going to report what they see back, if it's a very serious thing, like somebody could fall off the roof and really hurt themselves or something like that, right?
Right,
Or even
right.
I guess you could just have a medical condition, right? A stroke.
Right. We have
heart
clients
attack.
on hospice care, and sometimes their need is very immediate, and hospice is also called at the same time.
Okay, so let's talk about this little thing here for a minute, because you say this. What does this have, like a sensor that
It has
can
multiple
tell like
sensors.
it fell down really fast or something?
Yes, it senses the vertical drop. It
Okay.
is 95 to 97% accurate. It's just absolutely wonderful for somebody who now has graduated into that greater need.
Okay, so they'll respond to this if they don't hear anybody talk to them, right?
They will hear somebody talk to them, but what
Well,
this
what if
button
you,
does,
knock
instead
your
of
head out
pushing
and
it,
you can't respond, is it?
if you can't respond, then they get the call. There is no
Yes.
response at
Okay.
this home. And these are the medical conditions that this client has, so that they know what they're rolling on.
Okay, I guess that's what I was trying to get to a little bit. Like you could have a condition where you weren't able to call. Maybe
Absolutely.
Maybe you're by yourself. You have a stroke. You can't work your mouth.
Right,
or
or you
something,
can't
right?
reach your button.
You can't get to the phone.
Right.
You can't get to the phone. We have that
I guess you could
actually.
just drop this on the floor, right?
We have a lot
Well,
of.
you're wearing
We've
it.
had a lot of people that have fallen and they don't have a system like this, and they'll lay on the
Right.
floor for 12, 24, 36 hours before somebody comes to check
It's
on
like
them.
when I
And
hear
by-
those stories, it's like just frightening. How
right.
what
They're
would it
very
feel like
real
to be-
here.
I
By
know.
Very
then,
real.
by then they have medical issues that they wouldn't have had they had the device and
Right.
notification was made right away.
Because now they could be dehydrated and
Correct.
other things, and shock for a long period of time.
Correct.
Yeah, so people really need this. How about people that have a spouse or something? They might want to have one, even though they think their
We do
spouse can
have
take care of them.
couples
Because
where both of them have the one unit with two buttons.
okay,
Yes.
and because like for me or someone like Sue, she might not be home.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And,
And one may have the auto alert and one may have the standard button. The person that maybe is more mobile, less medical issues, that kind of thing. And there's people, young people, we say you're never too young or old. Our youngest client came on in her 40s after multiple strokes.
Yeah.
We've had Parkinson's, but our oldest client was 107, still living independently before he passed. this last year. So, we say you're never too young because it's not about pride. It's about making sure you get the help you need.
Right.
Well, I would imagine if you're
Right away.
if you're alone, almost anywhere. But I mean, if you're in the city or something, maybe you can yell, or whatever, and your neighbor can hear you or something like that. But if if you're where I live or where you live, where you have some property, the distance between neighbor, no one is going to know. So, yeah, I could see where you would, maybe even want that if you were in your 20s or whatever. I mean, you could have
Yes.
you could be out like, cutting up wood and chop your leg off.
Well, you could, and actually, you just need to remember that this is like an insurance policy,
It
just like
is.
having
Yeah,
an
that's what I mean,
ambulance
right.
ticket.
Well, it is, and I find that for us, we try and encourage elderly seniors especially who live alone that might not have a lot of health problems to get one of these, because a lot of times your family members are saying, oh, Mom, Dad, sell the house, you live too far away. This is, like you said, an insurance policy so that if something does happen, the family is relieved to know that there is help on the way, and the person can actually still have their independence and live in their home that they've lived in for the last 50 years.
We've got about 30 seconds till we go to our break, and I'd just like to say I can see how the two of you would want to partner up. I mean, people generate calls with this and with your thing, and the calls are responded to from the American Legion ambulance. So you've just got a synergy going on right there, and. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to find out more about the partnership and what that means to you. So stay with us right here on TSPN.
Thank you.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.